Alright, we've got three options here, and honestly, this is a weird but interesting showdown. First up, the iPhone 16e. Let's be real, this might be the most boring iPhone ever. But hey, it's also the safest choice. You know exactly what you are getting, Apple's reliable, if predictable, experience. Next, the Nothing Phone 3A Pro. This is a young, rebellious pick. Fresh design, cool custom UI, and the signature transparent aesthetic. It's for people who want something different. And then there's the OPPO Find X8s. This thing is wild, packing the new 9400 Plus chip and some seriously impressive industrial design. It's a powerhouse. Now, I know some of you are gonna say, this comparison makes no sense. And yeah, these phones are totally different. But here's the thing, they are all priced between $450 and $600. So why not? Let's dive in. Let's talk raw performance because these three chips are playing in completely different leagues. We've got Apple's 818, MediaTek's flagship 9400 Plus, and then the Snapdragon 7S Gen 3, which might as well be from another planet. The brutal truth, even the cut-down version 818 and iPhone 16e absolutely demolishes the 7S Gen 3 2 to 3 times. It's not even close. And this is exactly why people accuse Nothing of overhyping their phones. Now, in a day-to-day use, you might not notice huge differences as all three can handle basic tasks smoothly. But here's where it gets real. If you are planning to keep your phone for 3 to 5 years, that underpowered 7th Gen 3 is going to struggle hard with future apps and updates. Gaming performance tells the whole story. The iPhone 16e has plenty of power but gets kneecapped by Apple's conservative thermal limits. The A18 rarely goes above 5 volt in games, so you'll want a cooler for serious gaming sessions. The Nothing 3A Pro with its 7S Gen 3, you'll be stuck playing Genshin Impact and Star Rail at lowest settings, period. The real winner here is the X8s with its 9400 Plus that delivers full frame rates at just 5.6 volt. Prove that you don't always need high power when you've got proper optimization. Let me break down the screen performance. Starting with brightness. OPPO takes the crown with nearly 60-100 nits of full screen peak brightness, while Nothing Phone also impresses at over 1200 nits. The iPhone here is the weird part. Even though it uses the same panel as the iPhone 14, it's capped at just 800 nits max brightness. Technically, the iPhone 16e could match the iPhone 14's 1200 nits, but Apple's software locks that higher brightness exclusively to HDR content. Classic Apple move, only they do that. Now onto color accuracy, all three phones nailed it with proper color management. If you care about true-to-life colors, you're good with any of these. Nothing Phone's got a quirky twist though. Being a UK-based, Chinese-founded company, they've mimicked Samsung, America's top-selling Korean brand, offering 2 color modes, one of which supports color management, just like the Galaxy S24 series. So thanks to economic globalization, I guess? Let's talk battery life. All three phones have different capacities, 4000 mAh, 5000 mAh, and 5700 mAh. And here's the twist. Bigger battery doesn't always mean better endurance. The iPhone 16e pulls off shockingly good efficiency thanks to its 60Hz screen and the more advanced C1 modem, making it one of the longest lasting iPhone you can buy. The Nothing Phone doesn't do anything revolutionary with its 5000 mAh cell. It's not the worst, not the best, just fine. Meanwhile, the OPPO Find X8s flexes its muscles with a massive 5700 mAh silicon battery. Now, purely on endurance, the X8s wins hands down. But here's the catch, the 16e and Nothing still delivers solid all-day battery, though their experiences differ. The 16e's stuck with a 60Hz panel and Nothing's screen tops out at 1080p resolution. The X8s, no compromises, is the ultimate winner here. The iPhone 16e's camera is honestly hard to judge. It's a full downgrade on paper, with a tiny 1 by 2.55 inch primary sensor. Apple basically tweaked the iPhone 16 Pro's ultra-wide camera slightly and crammed it into the 16e. While the hardware is small, the sensor here is surprisingly capable. It holds up against both OPPO and Nothing in low light, maybe even coming out on top. OPPO's shots though show obvious post-processing artifacts. Let me be honest, I love OPPO's Hasselblad-tuned daytime photos, natural and timeless. But at night, their image turned oversaturated and artificially enhanced with its oily AI look. which is my biggest gripe. Nothing being the new kid on the block still struggles with night photography compared with these two. Daytime and zoom, that's OPPO's territory hands down. You can pause here and check the samples. Alright, let's wrap it up. The iPhone 16e might have taken some hardware shortcuts, but it's still a decent phone. An entry-level iPhone that's not the best, but far from the worst. Buying it outright? Bad deal. On a carrier contract? Solid deal. The Nothing Phone 3a Pro is my personal favorite here. Standout design and surprisingly capable cameras. But its hardware balance is off. That mid-tier chipset holds it back despite the decent camera, making it a tough sell for most people. As for the OPPO Find X8s, it's the only true flagship in this lineup, nailing performance, battery, and camera while keeping things compact with that 6.32-inch screen. Downside, it probably won't launch globally. You'll have to grab it in select Asian markets. The good news, its sibling, OnePlus 13T, is set for a worldwide release soon. Want details? Subscribe and stay tuned for updates. Thank you for watching. I'm Zan from Wiley Channel. See you soon.